Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Thank you so much for joining us at the Alert Center. I'm Jacqueline Fernandez. The first ballots were mailed out today for the city of Omaha's general election. Approximately 57,000 early voting ballots. So that is an exciting number, if you will. We're going to discuss this in some depth with Brian Cruz. He is with the Douglas County Election Commission, the election commissioner. So I'm going to hand this over to Brian. Brian, thank you so much for joining us at the Alert Center this afternoon.
An exciting day for the citizens of Omaha.
It certainly is, and unfortunately I will say during the primary election we didn't get as many votes as we wanted, but this time it appears things are looking up.
Yeah, we had a little over 25% turnout in the primary. We'll definitely be over 30% for this. I'm hoping for at least 32, maybe even 35%. And it's just, these elections are so important. Every election's important, but these elections are really important because once you head out the door of your home, these are the elections that affect literally every day of your life. From the roads to public safety to parks and swimming pools, snow removal. And the folks that make those decisions are accessible. We're very fortunate we live in a city where you can go to events and you can visit with the mayor and your city council folks. You may see them out shopping or at a place of worship or College World Series, a baseball game, something of that nature. So, I just really encourage the citizens of Omaha, whether you like to vote early or you like to go to your polling place. Just be sure and have your voice heard, because as I said, these are the elections that affect your everyday life once you head out the door of your residence.
Yes, and April is almost over, so the general election is in May 13th, if I'm not mistaken. But tell us, so these ballots are mailed in a craft-colored envelope, so something to look forward to. A return envelope is included with the ballot, and this is something that I wanted to learn a little bit more about. So if several household members did request ballots at the same time, but if they're not received together, what would you recommend, Brian?
Just wait a day or two. Once the ballots leave our office, then they're in the hands of the United States Post Office, which is a valuable partner of ours. But I know from having done this for many years in our office, for some reason, once ballots go to the post office and they get sorted and then they get distributed, to maybe the neighborhood post office, and then they get placed on the trucks, or if you have a post office box at the post office in your neighborhood, they don't always get delivered on the same day. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it has to do with volume or what the nature of that is. But if somebody in your household gets a ballot and you didn't receive one, just wait a day or two. If it goes more than a couple days, contact our office at 402-444-VOTE, and we can attempt to help you. If we need to, we can get you a replacement ballot.
Yeah, and that's really great to know. Also, there's a place you can go if you did request a by-mail early voting ballot. You can check the status of your application. That is right here. We do have that pulled up for you. So all you have to do is enter your first name, your last name, your county. You can press this big lookup button here, or your polling place search. You've got that clearly laid out for us as well. And here's the not yet registered. So you do have until Friday, May 2nd. Is that right? If you'd still like to register?
That's right. You have until this Friday at May 2nd at 6 p.m. to register to vote for this election and to request a ballot be mailed to you. So if you're not one of the 57,000 that got a ballot in the mail today that we mailed, but you still like to do a by-mail ballot, you have until Friday at 6 to do that. And going back to what you just showed on the screen there, that's a great tool, because voters can go there and see if their application was accepted, but then once they return their ballot to us, once they return their ballot either through the post office or drop box, now we suggest using one of our 13 drop boxes around the county.
Sure.
They can go here and then they can look and see if their ballot has been accepted or rejected. Almost 99.5% of ballots are accepted. The biggest reason ballots are rejected is voters forget to sign the back of the envelope. You gotta sign the envelope in order for us to accept your ballot.
Yes, very, very good reminder. It's like I always try to make sure I've dotted all the I's, I've crossed all the T's, but do not forget to sign the back of the envelope. Yes, thank you for the reminder. Now, early voting in person started on April 28th, so that is today. Also, you can head over to the Douglas County Election Commission. So I do have this location here to pop up really quick for our viewers as well, Brian. So give me 1 second. Let's see. So this is, I've mapped it out for you.
Center in the
Perfect.
Bel Air Plaza.
Perfect. And this is about a 25-minute drive, give or take, from our studios here in Blackstone. So you can kind of zoom in and see where you guys are.
Yeah, really from the west part of the city to, when we moved to this facility 5 years ago, we were very conscious about being in the middle of the city and the county and having easy access. So the bus does come here. Center Street basically goes east and west, 120th goes north and south. We're right off of the interstate. You can get off at 108th and bring Center Street right up. So our normal office hours are 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, but we will have some extended hours. Saturday, May the 10th, which is the Saturday before the election, not this Saturday, but a week from Saturday, will be open from 9 to 1 for early voting. And then also on the 6th and 8th, which is Tuesday and Thursday of next week, we will be open until 6 p.m. as a convenience to voters.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, so I hope people have their calendars with them while they're watching. So would you mind just repeating that real quick in case someone's trying to jot that information down for us?
Absolutely. Extended office hours are next week, not this week, next week, Tuesday and Thursday, May 6th and 8th until 6 p.m. And then Saturday, May 10th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. You can come and vote early in person at our office.
Okay, wonderful. Now, the other thing we have to remind voters who want to vote in person, tell us about an acceptable form of photo ID. This is paramount.
That's right. So nothing has changed with the voter ID laws since last year. So of course we had the primary and the general of the presidential last year. The easiest and most convenient way is to use your Nebraska driver's license or state ID of Nebraska. Now, if you don't have one of those, there are a host of other IDs that can be used. Generally speaking, it's IDs issued by a political subdivision. So if you work for the city of Omaha or Douglas County, you can use those. A public school ID is acceptable. Things that we can't accept are things like membership cards. So maybe you have a Costco or Sam's membership and it may have your photo on it, but it's from a private entity. Or if you work for, say, First National Bank of Omaha, Mutual of Omaha, First Data, again, those are going to probably have your photo on them, but they're private entities, so we can't accept those. Again, if you have questions, you can go to our website, votedouglascounty.com. We have a whole section there. You can always call our office at 444-VOTE before you head over here too, and we're happy to help.
Yeah, that's great. And you have all your contact information clearly right here. 402-444-VOTE or 8683. So that's really great information. Right. Brian Cruz, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon at the Alert Center. Really do appreciate your time. And it's almost time to vote again. It's almost May. Who knew?
It is. So just a couple final reminders. If you like to vote by mail, don't forget those have to be in by 8 p.m. on May 13th. Postmarks don't count. And no polling places have changed. So if you're going to your polling place or coming here, bring your ID and let's get out there and prove me wrong. Let's get above that 32-35%.
Yeah, let's do it. Your vote does count. Get out there and vote for who you want representing you in the community, right? I mean, this is the time to do it. So, Brian Cruz, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
We'll see you later. All right, so if you're just joining us at the Alert Center, we were just discussing almost time to vote for the City of Omaha General Election. That is May 13th, and today the first ballots for the City of Omaha General Election were mailed out, approximately 57,000 early voting ballots, so exciting stuff there. Now, in the meantime, I do want to switch gears. We are talking about today weather-wise. It is a First Alert 6 weather day. Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord tells us that this alert day is still in place for the severe storm threat. This could be possibly as early as noon west of the metro. The metro area will likely not see anything until about 3 to 7 p.m. at this point. So he does tell us hail, tornado, and wind all in play, from the storms that develop through. And the odds at this point for the strongest storms are on the Iowa side. So I'm going to head over to our website. That's firstalert6.com. Let's head over there real quick right now. This is where you can get the latest on news and weather. We click on this First Alert 6 weather tab. Here's the latest from Rusty. So the current temperature is 73, a bit cloudy out there, a bit windy. Now, as we look at the hourly temperature, since our focus is pretty much on today, right? So around 1 o'clock, cloudy and windy out there. 2 p.m., 82. The high seems to be at this point around 5 o'clock at night, 87. And this is those spotty strong storms. That's kind of when that starts. But at the 2 p.m. hour, it looks like those isolated thunderstorms are going to be throughout the area. And things should clear up around 10 o'clock tonight. But of course, we'll leave this as a web extra for you to kind of check out the radar and see how things, where the rain is, see how things are looking as the day progresses. But yes, our meteorologist will have the latest on that for you. Let's take a quick look outside from our Blackstone camera, and I'll show you a couple other shots from a camera as well. So yeah, cloudy, rainy day out there, rainy day to come. Taking a look now at 144th and Dodge. Yep, a gray day. Traffic flowing smoothly. And another quick hit at 90th and Dodge for you before we wrap up here. Yeah, so traffic flowing smoothly as we speak. So that's the good news. And if you can, please do drive safely out there. Again, we're not really sure when exactly these isolated thunder showers were hit and how bad it will be out there. So something to take note of if you are commuting throughout the day. Also, thank you so much for joining us at the Alert Center. And please do stay tuned for our broadcast at 3 o'clock with Dave Zavolinsky. We'll see you then.